Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a book review for All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. This is my first book by her, and I have to say that I was impressed. I rated it a 4-star, so let's talk about it. Ridley is a true crime podcaster who started her podcast shortly after her twin sister went missing when they were graduating from college, and she's starting a small trip for her podcast, which is sponsored by like a major network, and she's going because she's connected all of these cases together that tells her who was the first victim. And so she's traveling there because the first victim got away, and she wants to try to do an episode or episodes based on this case and start there so that way she can get clues to figure out what happened to her sister. And when she gets there, she meets Colt, who is the ranger of this small town, and he is our main male character. And they initially butt heads because he thinks that she's just there to start trouble and rifle things up and, be a mischief maker. And it takes a lot of convincing, but eventually the town folk all come together to help her get clues and start to understand what originally happened with this first case. And she gets to speak with the victim, and the victim is actually Colt's sister. Colt goes on kind of like a rampage when he realizes that she's gotten to his sister and that she's trying to get information from her for this case. And so over time, she kind of has to start sharing that she's there because her sister was possibly one of these victims and that her sister is a victim in general. And when this happens, Colt kind of becomes more open to her and is more willing to help her, and he's less abrasive with her. But I think that initially the attraction starts like when he meets her the very first time, because her cat was in like an RV and they thought that the cat didn't have AC, but she did, and they were going to break him, but they didn't have to because the cat had AC. But over time, the whole investigation starts to unravel. She's been interfered with multiple times by town folk who just some don't want her there, and one person who is tied to the case, the person perpetrating these crimes. I don't know that they necessarily ever get enough clues to figure out who he is before the final event happens. But then when the final event happens, he's going all out to find her, and he's determined that he will find her before something bad happens, which he loses his mind like he did with his sister when originally Ridley gets to the town and is investigating and trying to find these clues. So overall in this story, you have the true crime podcaster and the sheriff of the town who are over time working together to solve this case of their sisters, which is quite the divine intervention, I feel like, where they've both got this mutual interest in having this case solved and being able to better their lives. And I honestly love the epilogue. I felt like it was a perfect ending. I kind of felt like her parents come back in the epilogue, and I kind of felt like she forgives them really easily, but at the same time, it also feels like you can understand because these intense things happened in their lives that caused so many different changes and hardships for them. But I did overall love the way their relationship unfolded, and I felt like there could have been more character development on both sides, but overall I rated it a 4-star, and I think that I would probably read this book again.